let's go ahead and get started. Hello, I am Josh, also known as Cpgeek. You can find all of my stuff over at Cpgeek.org, from blog to Discord to this YouTube channel. I do a lot of nerd tech things. I like to play video games. I'm into virtual reality, which is probably why you're here. I do a lot of 3D printing stuff. You can see some of that on this channel. Let's see, what else? Well, there's the Discord if you want to hang out. So I'm pretty much always there. You can find the link on the websites. I do Twitch streaming when I play video games, so you'll find the link on my website there as well. And of course, I can be found on Twitter. It's @CPGeek. If you want to drop me a line, I'm happy to talk about pretty much whatever nerd tech things you got. So there we go. But today, I am going to go ahead and pop open my brand new Valve Index and talk a little bit about how that compares to my current headset, which is currently the Oculus Rift CV1. A little long in the tooth, but it's served me pretty well over the last few years. I did at one point attempt to upgrade to the Samsung Odyssey Plus, but I had some tracking issues. I'll talk a little bit more about that later. But for now, I think we should go ahead and jump into the unboxing. One more thing. I did order this on April 26th. And it just arrived to me today. So these are still a little scarce thanks to manufacturing process problems, all of the social distancing problems, all of the various other stuff. Professor Pig, that's exactly what I was talking about here. It took a really, really long time. The other thing I should mention is this stream is totally interactive. If during the process of the stream anyone has any questions for me or would like to take me to take a closer look at anything, just give me a shout. Happy to talk about whatever as we go through this. Let's see what we can see here. I'm going to go ahead and flip over to the A+B cam here. All right. Other way. There we go. I'm going to have to turn around in order to see the index. I'll reposition that camera to get a little bit better. Week 6 of waiting. Yeah, it's certainly been a rough ride, Professor Pig. I've been waiting for a really long time, checking almost on a regular basis every couple of days, just to see if it's progressed a little bit further. Unfortunately not, but I have heard that several people are now getting receipt of their Valve Index. So if you did order a while back, then you should be receiving at least a notification that they have one for you at some point soon. They have warehouses that are starting to fill up with product again. So hopefully they're back on track in terms of getting people their stuff. So we'll see how that works out for other folks. Of course, please do feel free to leave a comment on this video when you do get your index. Everybody is pretty excited moving forward. It's a really good time to be interested in virtual reality, as a lot of really cool headsets are coming out. Valve Index. Wow, Braino. It's kind of late at night. The Valve Index is one of the top end headsets currently available, and things just keep getting better. So let's go ahead and get to the opening here. All right, just looking here to see what we can see. Sorry about the wiggly wobbly camera here. I'm just trying to get things positioned in a way that makes sense here. I think that's pretty good. Headphones going the other way here. All right. Can we see the top of the box? Yeah, we can see the top of the box, as well as my really dirty desk. Usually would expose that part, but so let's see what. Let's maybe drop this down. Looks like we tape here. I know that there is a box inside of this box. So other people here have seen a few different unboxings of Index already, just to get a feel for what should be here. All right, it's up and running. It's hanging on the table here. All right, so black box, some shinies here. Oh, and it looks like we lost the paper. That happens. Sorry. Let's go ahead and get that back online real quick before we continue. And that's back up and running. Sorry about that. I actually stepped on the connector when I was trying to get things open here. All right, so that doesn't tell you I'm live. What does, right? Black box here. How to best do this? I think I'm just gonna flip it upside down. All right. That was a loud thud. Wow, this is a big boy. Yeah. Size of this box is really, really big, but it's also really, really light. I'm kind of curious now. I know that the shipping weight. Shipping weight would have been on the outside, but just do a quick test. 0. That's still overload for my my tiny scale here. I don't have anything big. Do I have a person scale yet? That's probably a little too light. Anyhow, let's go ahead and see here. Put the camera a little closer. So there's this really cool seal. It's sort of shiny, but it sort of changes color depending on how you're looking at it. Iridescent, I think, is the word. All right, so on the sticker, let's see, we've got headsets, controllers, base stations, a bunch of different languages. That's what that says there. Go ahead and I guess we'll cut through the pretty iridescent sticker. That's disappointing. At least we know it's good and sealed. All right. Go ahead and get a taller view before we start going down this road too far. So push up. And then angle you down. Yep, that's a pretty good view. All right, let's open this like chest. Alrighty, the top padding is extremely good. Looks like it's well adhered. This is looks like a good box to carry this thing around with in the future. We've got just looking back at the frame here, so I can get an idea of if the camera is capturing what we want to see. It does look like things are working well. So we've got the headset itself, the two base stations 2.0. We've got the controllers, and looks like a pretty sizable cable. And hello worlds. which is Velcro. I really like that. That's a good touch right there. And a nice index logo here. Hello Worlds with the play on the old programming exercise. So I'm really curious about these controllers. They look like they just want you to pick them up. So that's precisely what I'm going to do here. Just want to put hands on and get a feel for them. As I said in the beginning, I do have an Oculus Rift CV1, and those controllers, the touch controllers for the CV1, are my favorite controller on any platform. So in terms of ergonomics, they're kind of hard to beat. Just getting my first feel on these controllers here. Yeah, that's a bit too tight. There's some adjustments that can be done, of course, depending on how long your hands are. I'm feeling like this position currently is just a touch too high, but I could be wrong because my fingers here are right on the grips of the sensors. The thumbsticks are, in my opinion, in the wrong place. So just to bring this a little closer to the camera, the thumbsticks are way out here to the extreme left and right on these, whereas I would have liked, in terms of gaming position, them to be more toward the center of the situation, where they put the trackpad for some reason. My initial impression, without actually having played a game with them, I would have preferred the thumbsticks either in the middle or towards the edge here. Unless am I an idiot and have these backwards? No, because my fingers are resting over the sensors where they're supposed to be. Yeah, that doesn't make sense the other way. But still, the joysticks are way out on the edge. That's really interesting. We've got B and A buttons. They're both labeled A and B per side here. And I kind of wish they were ABXY just for when you see the prompt on the screen, you can basically push the specific button that it says, rather than the right A button, left B button, those sorts of things, just for disambiguation's sake. I love that they recessed the menu button. A little tiny menu button. It's very much recessed. You have to push it in order to, I just powered it up. You really have to push it in order to get it to actuate. It's not hard to press. Anybody can basically press it if that is what you are intending to do. But if you're, mashing A and B, or trying to press a button real quick, or if you're flailing your arms around in Beat Saber or any of those other fast-paced motion games, I believe that the recessed button is definitely a good way to go. So the trigger. So the trigger, you push most of the way down, and it feels like a standard trigger, but there's this little clip right at the end. It's imperceptible visually. Click, click, click. They're very clicky at the end. I'm kind of curious if that is both analog and digital. So like if it's an analog to push most of the way on the trigger, and then at the very end you get a click, which is a separate switch button. I have a HOTAS joystick, an X52 Pro by Satec, very common for things like Elite Dangerous and other types of flight simulators and space simulators and that sort of thing. And I find that with the X52, there's a trigger which is one button, and then if you squeeze a little harder, you can feel the trigger for a second button as well. And Totally Bag is confirming in chat that they are two-stage triggers, which it's pretty interesting. Kind of curious how they'll use that in game, as I don't think I've ever seen a game that uses two-stage triggers in game. I'm pretty sure a first-party title, like I'm expecting Half-Life Alyx, will probably take advantage of every little control on this thing, just because it's their flagship game. Yeah, so overall, ergonomics, pretty good. The lack of grip button is strange for me. I know that it's replicated in software on these little grip things. I know that you can do multi-finger tracking. There's pressure sensitivity. There's gentle multi-finger tracking for pressure. There's tracking for your fingers above it. So that's pretty interesting. And that's one of the bigger reasons that I like these the design of these controllers to begin with. Just to put these down, I can tell just from the layout that they wanted me to do exactly what I did: pick up those controllers and get hands on with them. That's what this package is telling me to do here with this this design. I'm going to go ahead and set the right one down here for a second, just so I can come over here and pick up the right CV1 touch controller. So this is the touch controller from the Oculus Rift, the CV1. And this is the controller for the Valve Index that I just unboxed. Already I can tell the Rift controller is still way, way more ergonomic. I don't mean to pick favorites yet because the functionality of the Index controllers are just so far and above what these do. But I was pretty impressed overall with the touch controllers. Like I said in the beginning, they're my favorite controller for ergonomics, hands down. They just fit really nicely into your hand. They're over-intuitive. They feel roughly the same weight. I'm just trying to get a feel here. In fact, that is something that I can do with that scale. So let me go ahead and set this back just a little bit. Grab that scale. I'm really kind of curious now. So zero. All right. So this touch controller has a battery in it. It takes a single AA battery. I'm going to set it on the scale here. This is 161 grams. This Index controller, probably without a battery, I'm guessing, is 195 grams. Let me see if I can find the battery bay on this thing. Looks like rechargeable battery pack. All right, so this takes a USB, looks like a USB Type-C cable, I believe. Assuming that comes in the box. So it is loaded with batteries. they're both loaded with batteries, and yeah, 195 grams on the index, and with battery installed, 160 grams for the CV1 touch controllers. Quite a bit lighter, but you really don't feel it. The index controllers are very well balanced, and the outside ring here really supports most of the weight of the controller. So in your hand, it kind of feels weightless. I think when swinging around, like in Beat Saber or other sword type games, that this is going to be a little heavier than this. But not by much. I mean, you don't really feel it, and it's supported really well. It becomes more of a part of your arm. Well, they both kind of do that. But the touch controllers basically a lot better in terms of just ergonomics, where my hands sit. And of course, these are all capacitive, so it knows where my fingers are on each of these buttons. I don't know if the index controller does that or not. I will have to check that out in game and get back to you. But I mean, it's not bad. I have no complaints about the index controller other than it being very slightly heavier, which isn't a big deal. And also, it's really hard to get the over-engineered mastery of the touch controllers here. They're just really solid, right down to swapping out the batteries. The CV1 touch controllers, they're not rechargeable. I kind of wish they were, and these new controllers are. So there's that benefit. But I do like being able to swap out the batteries on the fly. I don't know how long these batteries will last on the index controller, so I'll have to check that out. But swapping out the battery on the touch controller is just really a matter of on the back side here. If I can get a focus, you basically just slide this forward. So when you're facing the controller, it's right on this side. It's in the handle. So it's a magnet that you slide down and it reveals the battery here. I have a rechargeable battery in there right now. These last for a good long time, a good 6 or 7 hours in one of these. And on my desk, let's switch view for a second. On my desk, I actually have, it's hard to see from way back there, but this is an 8 AA recharger. I have a whole bunch of stuff that uses AA batteries in terms of overall using stuff. So I'm always swapping batteries in and out of this. Anytime I have a ton of batteries, I can just pop in a set when I get a notification that says controller is low. Not a big deal, but now that I have a rechargeable battery built into the index controller, I'm basically going to have to keep an eye on battery level because it's going to, I'll have to shut it off when it's time to use when it's time to recharge the controller. So that's, I mean, strengths, weaknesses. It's not a huge problem overall, but kind of wish that it used AA's. I know that a lot of people are arguing the opposite way, specifically with Windows mixed reality stuff. I just saw a video that somebody else put out that was explaining how he was disappointed that Windows mixed reality tracked controllers were both light-based as well as the fact that they run out of batteries within 5 hours and you have to swap them out with another set of AA's. I like being able to swap out batteries really quick, especially if the batteries last for a good 5+ hours, which is probably just a little bit shorter than my longest sessions. I probably would say 8 hours is going to be a long time for me to spend in VR. Usually it's only like 4 hours normally. When I have some time, before I at least need a break and need to, eat something, have a meal, use the restroom, all those kinds of things. Professor Pig, what is awkward? I'm sorry, I'm a little delayed on the stream here. I just saw your message pop up. So if you could, clarify, I'd be happy to keep talking about that. Meanwhile, let's go ahead and set the scale aside here. So yeah, batteries. I'd rather replace batteries than have rechargeables, unless they are replaceable rechargeables. If I have a battery pack that I can swap in, that would be super cool. If they could work that out, that would be rad. Just a little a battery pack that has a little USB thingy on it, so I can buy a couple of those, set them up, kind of like a digital camera, for example. You buy a couple of batteries for that, you can swap one in and use it while the other one's on the charger, and then swap them back. That's stuff that's been around for quite a long time, and I like that. Having some focus problems. There we go. A little better. Still kind of soft. Anyhow, on with the unboxing. Let's go ahead and switch back. Set that to the side. Back open. All right. Next, I think we should take a look at base stations. These are base stations 2.0. And just try to get a good shot here. Clearly, it says to remove the plastic. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Nice, satisfying peel. Nice. On the back side, got the valve logo. Got what's that say? FCC info, serial numbers. What I assume to be the power input, as well as the USB input. That's interesting. Oh, I guess if you need to update the firmware on this, that would be how you would do that if it's not connected to your computer at that time. Pretty sure that these integrate some sort of Bluetooth technology, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so they're both identical, so I'll leave the other one there for the moment. These work by scanning laser beams with a time signature through your room. It's kind of like a fan of laser beams. That's really, really cool. They're picked up by little sensors on the outside of the controllers, as well as the front and back of the headset itself. So that's kind of a neat tracking technology that's better than since the HTC Vive. Whereas the Oculus CV1 actually uses optical tracking for their setup. I have been a big proponent of the optical tracking because it's pretty inexpensive to outfit your device with a whole bunch of LEDs or infrared LEDs that are picked up by basically what amounts to infrared webcams. And the CV1's cameras are actually, pretty nice overall. The industrial design is built well. I could tell they're fairly inexpensive. They work good. You do need about 3 of them in order to get good tracking from both front and back. They kind of have a triangulation effect on the play space. So anywhere within that triangulated area, you can be picked up and tracked with the motion controllers, which will allow you to, put your controller behind you, as well as, out front, on the sides, wherever you happen to be within your volume of play space. So long as the cameras can see the objects that you're tracking, any one of those cameras, preferably 2, it'll go ahead and track. And of course, the touch controllers have a built-in IMU, which is basically a gyroscope to go ahead and process tracking on that as well. So they can get 6 degrees of freedom. All right, so that covers base station unboxing. Wait, I can show you this. 1 second. So this is actually plugged into my computer as I use VR pretty often. Let's switch back to the A camera here, get some focus. Hopefully, maybe. Camera's been having some focus difficulties recently. There we go. So this is basically the camera for the Oculus CV1. I can basically adjust it up and down. It's got a really nice stand that sits kind of like a microphone stand. It's metal, so it's not going anywhere. And this is a nice plastic thing. Doesn't get all like dusty or anything. This is the aperture for the camera. It's basically just a camera on a tripod that tracks things in infrared. So pretty inexpensive. You can detach the tripod if you want to, just by unscrewing. It's got a little screw hook. Some folks have 3D printed little doodads to go ahead and put these on the wall, just like you do with the base stations. So that's pretty cool. They work better than the inside out Windows mixed reality experience that I had on the Samsung Odyssey Plus. Oh, there we go, out of focus again. That's really annoying. Here we go. So it works. The CV1 cameras work better than the inside out tracking on the Microsoft mixed reality stuff that I've seen, or at least it did on the Samsung Odyssey Plus. One of the biggest problems that I had with the Odyssey Plus was that when I pick up a controller and I put it behind my head, and this is tracked with cameras that are in the headset, and I put it behind my head, it didn't track. So things like bow and arrow games, I really like to play a game called In Death. It's the first VR game that I experienced at a demo at PAX East, and it was fantastic. And I purchased it as soon as I got a VR headset of my own, and it's still great to this day. I will probably be doing a little bit of streaming of that on twitch.tv/Cpgeek2 at some point soon. Yeah, so see me there. But behind the head tracking with bow and arrow stuff, really, really annoying with inside out tracking, because you just can't get that tracking on the controller like you can with outside in tracking, like either with the CV1 cameras, or I assume the Valve Index and its controllers. So let's go set that down. And let's go ahead and take out the headset itself and give that a shake test. At least the test as far as ergonomics go. All right, so let's go ahead and pull a cable up here. Okay, I guess they really want you to read through the documentation before we do that. So you know what? I'm going to piece. All right, so cool Oculus logo, more of that iridescent stuff. Looks like it's just printed on the box here. Again, Hello World's up back. We've got some Velcro that attaches to some points in the box. And I will go ahead and unbox their literature here. Now, of course, we won't spend forever reading this literature right here, right now, but we'll go through it real quick because they seem to want me to do so. Setup guide, guide de configuration, guide de international zone. I'm not even going to try the German because I don't speak it and it's terrible. Looks like Spanish instructions. Looks like, guessing that's Japanese or perhaps Chinese. We get a a little lens cleaner here. It's a nice cloth. We'll probably end up needing that to clean little bits of oil and sweat off of the. There we go. Off of the headset. Sorry about the reflection here. I have my lights are directly above the unboxing here. I've got a ceiling fan for light fixtures, so it's really bouncing off there. But it's a nice red to purple gradient. Oh, it looks like blue on the back side here. That's kind of pretty. Hold it up to this camera. So I've got pretty stuff going on here. Oop, upside down. There's the cleaning cloth. Safety, maintenance, regulatory, and warranty agreement information. A little picture of it, dude. This one is the thickest book of them all. I don't know if you. There we go. See that? And that's basically about as thick as all of these, I'm guessing, copies of the instruction manual put together. I'm going to take a quick run through the setup guide. I'm not going to read it completely, but I'm going to take a quick look. Basically, come on. There we go. Install Steam VR. Oh, it comes out. Prepare your play area. Attach your base station stands. Plug in your base. Plug in and place your base stations. Connect your headset. Turn on your controllers. And enjoy VR. I'm familiar with most of those, except for the base stations and the actual headset connection, both of which I probably won't need to refer to the manual on because I'm familiar with computers in general. I've been an IT consultant for quite a while, a technician for that. So go ahead and gloss over that. Out of just curiosity, I'm going to take a quick run through the safety and maintenance manual. It's all really tiny print. All the legalese, warranty information. Probably also discusses things like what to clean with and that sort of stuff. So I'll probably read some parts of that a little later as far as the cleaning parts and maintenance. But go ahead and put this stuff back in the box real quick. This is really turnkey for people who have not experienced VR or are familiar with the index. It's to be expected. I mean, they do a pretty good job about the whole turnkey thing. So if this is your first VR headset, you're probably going to be fine. The picture instructions that I saw just by glancing through look really good. I don't think anybody who has seen a computer or used a computer within the last little while will have any difficulties whatsoever in getting that going. So, yeah, not a big deal. Now we can take a look at the headset. Now that we're not hindered by the Velcro of the getting started guide. All right, let's take a look at the cable first. All right, so connector covers. This is a DisplayPort cable. Guessing 1.4 because this thing does 1440p per eye at 90, 120, or 140 hertz, I think. Pretty sure that's the case. And then USB 3, as indicated by the pretty blue there. I always kind of like the USB 3 plugs. And it looks like a barrel connector for power. I'm not sure whether or not that's actually going to be required. I kind of hope that it's going to be powered over USB, as I don't have a whole lot of power drops behind my computer right now. But of course, I'll make do. And let's go ahead and take a look at the valve index itself. Looks like this part tilts quite a ways. So this part tilts almost all the way. not quite all the way, so you're not going to be able to flip it up when you're using it for it to get out of the way. But it's pretty good. The foam on this is really, really soft. So move this a little bit. There we go. Yeah. So the foam on this ridiculously soft. There's a cloth material over the foam, which is silky feel. It feels like it would probably be pretty absorbent. I don't know how long this will last. I'm hoping to get a VR cover for it. I think that'll be a good investment for this, just because I want to, keep it nice as well as get that feel. Also, this feels really rather absorbent. And when I'm, playing super hot or Beat Saber and sweating, I don't want to, worry about killing the headset. I'm just taking a quick listen preview on here, making sure things are still good. The lenses are not your typical Fresnel lenses. They are, in fact, Fresnel lenses, but they're not your typical Fresnel lenses. If we take a look in there, you'll note the shape of these lenses. They're kind of like moon-shaped. They're mostly circular, but they have this little cutout here for the nose. That's interesting. And there's nose flaps here, which is interesting. So they can block light out. They're rubberized. They feel like they should fit pretty much any face shape that's you work with. There's a button on the bottom of the index. Not quite certain what that's for. My best guess is to mute the microphone that's right next to it, but I could be wrong. We've got IPD adjustment here on the bottom, and a really easy to get to place for thumbing. On the side, we've got the fine adjustment for moving the lenses forward and backward. So that's is both focus adjustment as well as field of view adjustment. So we can do that. The audio system, which sits off ear on the valve index, looks pretty substantial. They look about average headphone sized. Not nearly as large as the cans that I'm wearing right now. These are 40 millimeter driver Sony MDR V6 headphones that I've had for quite some time, and they sound amazing. But for 3D spatial VR, that these speakers should definitely do the job in terms of size anyway. They look to be, I don't know, 20 or so millimeter drivers, maybe 30, not larger than that though. They look like they would be pretty decent so long as they have a decent amplifier powering them and whatnot. Moving around to the front of the headset here, we've got the two front-facing cameras. It looks like you can do stereoscopic pass-through. So if you need to see your environment, that's the way you would do that. I'm really kind of curious if we can use these cameras that are designed for pass-through for doing hand tracking, either PC-based hand tracking or I don't know if there's hardware hand tracking. If you have a PC powerful enough to run a Valve Index, pretty sure that you have a PC that's fast enough to do real-time tracking for hand tracking. I just don't know if they'd be positioned correctly to capture your hands. So that's pretty much the headset itself. Just to compare, side by side, I do have my CV1, which is plugged in. So let's switch back to the 8 cam here. So this is my Rift CV1, and it's a lot lighter. I can feel that the index is a lot heavier than the CV1 here. Industrial design wise, the CV1 has this texture on the outside that feels premium. Gives your thumbs something to grip if you get sweaty. Whereas the index here is basically just smooth plastic all the way around. Just getting a feel, taking a closer look right now, because it's been a while since I've taken an up close look. The CV1 facial interface is more of a rubber foam material versus the soft material that covers a softer foam. It's also a lot thinner material on the valve index than the CV1. The CV1 seems to be a little thicker. Of course, you can replace these with VR covers on both of these devices, so that's not a huge deal. The lenses, just to compare, as I was saying, the CV1 has pretty much rounded Fresnel lenses. Let's see in there, it's, as far as lens shape goes. There aren't any nose flaps like in the Valve Index. It's just soft material. But I've never really had any problems with light leak in this headset at all. It's always been very good about being very dark. I have enjoyed playing games like Elite Dangerous and Arizona Sunshine, both of which have really dark scenes, pitch black scenes, and scenes where you're trying to view really dark areas, just low lit stuff that requires some contrast. And I've never had any difficulties with that here. Comparing audio solutions, these speakers are roughly similar size. I've always enjoyed the audio on the CV1. The headphones that it comes with are very well designed. They flip out in order to place them. They're very springy. They're always sitting at the right place on the ear. They're very adjustable. You can go up, down, back, forward. Really, really easy adjustments. And it seems like the index has very similar adjustments, forward, back, up, down, very similar in terms of overall adjustments, and also speaker size. The foam, of course, on the CV1 is a little bit more padded because they're designed to sit on your ear versus sitting in the area that your ear is, but not touching your ear. That's kind of strange, making them a speaker rather than headphone. I don't know how that'll turn out, but I'm really kind of curious. I'm personally kind of an audio geek myself. I wouldn't go down the audiophile road, but I do enjoy some higher end headphones. I enjoy listening to clean audio. I'm not the guy to go out and spend $500 on a set of headphones, but I think that's a good audio solution, especially in VR. Like when you're watching videos, audio is like 90% of the video. Even watching me here now, watching this video, the audio that I'm talking about and having this conversation with you is way more important than watching my ugly mug here talking about stuff. It's good for video examples, which is why I'm doing this unboxing to begin with, to give an overview of my thoughts of what is in this box, and how it's configured and that kind of stuff. But audio is super important for spatial immersion, and getting around the games, and that sort of stuff as well. If you want to be immersed, you basically need good audio. Um, Audio is a lot of that experience. And audio is the thing that electronics companies have the most experience in. They've been doing it since what I want to say like the 1930s, or probably before then, with old record players and that sort of stuff. I won't, like I said, bore you with all of that, but they have a lot of experience with audio. They should be able to get an audio solution that works properly, correctly, and ergonomically to get you immersed, at least as far as audio. And then concentrate on the video, which is, the next part of all of that. Anyhow, spiel aside, again, comparing the CV1 to the Index, the IPD slider is pretty much the same space, very thumbable. There's no buttons. The microphone quality on the Rift, the original CV1 here, has been very good. I've done full live streams using the microphone that's baked into the CV1, and I've played it back, and the sound has been wonderful. I have been told really, really good things about the Index microphones. In fact, I've heard some live streamers who have done exactly the same thing with the Index, in recording a live stream with the Index, and that audio is very good as well. So I'm sure that between the two, I'll be pretty happy overall. Let me go ahead and weigh these side by side. Just curious what the weight discrepancy is. Overall feel between these while I'm waiting for that to power on. They're both very good, but I feel like the Rift is a more premium device, being lighter, with the materials that it is made of. I kind of get that feeling from the controllers as well. This thing feels like, it's straight out of the future. Like I pulled this off of, Starship or something. It just perfectly fits. It's perfectly balanced. I don't need a hand strap in order to feel like when I open my hand, this isn't going to go flying. It's in my hand, versus, some other controllers that I've used. Even the Index controller, when I was trying that out a moment ago, is not quite that ergonomic. I mean, I'll certainly make do. It's probably a fine controller. A lot of people really enjoy it, but we'll see. I have also been watching videos as far as quality control on these controllers, and a lot of people experiencing things like thumbstick drift. I have had zero problems, absolutely zero, in the many years that I've had the Oculus set up. No problems with headset, no problems with the controllers. They just work. They're bulletproof. It works as expected. The only time I've ever seen any sort of funny business on the CV1, in terms of connectivity issues, in terms of audio issues, is some minor shimmering and minor audio dropouts when I was using a ridiculously long extension cable for both USB and for HDMI. The other side of the cable on the CV1 is HDMI. And that's to be expected. They advertise it as being, appropriate for, X cable length. They have, suggestions for extensions for Y cable length. And I was trying to use it with much longer Z cable length, which didn't work out. And that's fine. That's totally fine. I don't expect my hacks to work, because at that point, that's exactly what they are. So here's one of these. So let's switch over. So the CV1, I'm going to hold the cable up so that it doesn't add to the weight. I'm not going to weigh the cables. So The CV1 is 494 grams, which, is pretty decent. I've never had any issues. I've spent hours and hours and hours in this thing on VR chat, playing various games, both seated and standing. Star Trek Bridge Crew is super fun. Yep, I went fuzzy again. So Star Trek Bridge Crew is super fun. Playing Elite Dangerous, sitting down with my HOTAS setup is super fun. I lose many, many hours doing that. And those controllers are all plugged in, so they never die. And that means that I've been strapped in for many, many, way too many hours playing that particular game, as well as quite a few others. So, yeah. Let's see what the index weighs. So again, I'm going to hold the cable above, and the index weighs, I'll set it upside down. Just trying to get it fully balanced on the scale here. $900? What? Oh no, 700. And call it 740 grams. It keeps wiggling around because I'm holding that cable. That's not a very scientific. 740, we'll call it. Just for the sake of argument, that's way heavier than the CV1. Yeah, what was it, like 400 grams? I'm sorry, it's late at night and I'm starting to lose it here in terms of stream of thought. Reweighing the CV1 at 493 grams. So yeah, that's still a pretty big difference. The index is a big one. Very heavy. I can just feel that picking it up. Focus. There we go. Yeah, I can feel that just picking it up. So I don't like how heavy it is. I'm hoping that they make another one that's a little lighter. Yeah. So let's continue the unboxing. So they're at the second level. The second level probably not nearly as interesting as the first. I really like the way that they laid out their. Yeah, I really like the way that they laid out their packaging. Just resituating things back the way that they came, mostly. All right, and back off just a little bit so you guys can see too. Lifting top piece off. I'm just gonna set this on my chair behind me. And inside the box, get a do most of this. Can we go higher? So inside the box, we have foam insert. Wow, this feels so nice. This foam rubber that they're using is very, very soft and pliable. So that's pretty neat. So if you have a smaller head, you can basically pop this in the back of the index. It fit pretty much all head sizes. Here we've got. Ooh, that is one comment that I can make. They don't label their box. I mean, you can see inside when you open it, I guess, what kind of a cable it is. But I wish that they had labeled it. This is a power cable of some kind. It's like proprietary end. My best guess is that these are for the base stations. They do label their boxes. I just didn't understand it because I didn't think to look. So the label is this, and this means base station. Apparently in Valve Index. So we get a few different boxes labeled that. Again, the space station, I'm guessing the main hardware. This is the plug hardware for upgrading that setup. Layout in this is really, really nice symmetrical layout. So clearly these two are the same cable, these two are the same thing, and these are the wall hangers of base stations. And below we have little plastic bags that are glued down to the bottom of the box with actual hardware for getting these set up on a wall. So we have a drywall anchor, a couple of drywall screws. That's a really nice touch, and the little baggie has a base station logo on as well. Just trying to, so drywall, resolve. There we go, base station logo. This very clearly says controller, and the Valve Index controller. There we go. Just trying to get the camera to see that. And I think these are USB-C, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, A to C cables. So these will charge on the computer, and I guess these are the wrist straps for those. Well, that's strange. There's an opening here. It's a half dome, like a ridge, like a semi-circle here, and there doesn't appear to be anything in it. Perhaps that's where the box sits. Oh, I see. This is for the cable on the headset itself to sit into when the top box is on top. That's, pretty awesome. That's all there is on the top. Everything is basically replicated at that point. Nope, there's one more box. Headset. This has the headset Valve Index on it. What's in the box? Sure, it tells me in the menu what all these things are. Looks like a power brick. Yeah, nice power brick. Cable. And international adapter. I'm in America, so they basically give me the American plug. You can also fit, it's a normal laptop 2-prong power brick, kind of like what you would find on like a Mac computer or something. So you can use an extension cable if you need to or want to with that as well. I'm not certain what the length of that is. Let's see how that works out. So, I mean, that's pretty much it in terms of unboxing the Index here. These Index controllers. Really weird. What do I have to say about it? Specifications wise, let's look at the slip cameras here. So specifications wise, this is dual 1440. That's okay. This is a flagship product. I paid a whole lot of money. In fact, let's go ahead and take a look at what these are costing right now, as I look like an idiot. So let me just pull up Steam here. Connecting. Do. All right. Maximize desktop. So here's Steam. If we go to, let's see, store, browse, where's hardware? I thought that was a hardware thingy. Am I just being daft right now? Ba, 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 ba. You know what? Let's just do a search for index. All right, so this that I unboxed is the full kit. It's currently selling for $9.99 plus shipping. That's what I ended up with. It includes the controllers and base stations. Just going through the spec here, it includes the headset, integrated headphones, headset cable, connection cable, DisplayPort 1.2, okay, and USB 3. Headset power supply, regionalized power adapter. Let's see, headset cradle adapter for smaller heads. That's that nice bit of foam that I popped open previously. 2 controllers left and right, 2 controller lanyards, 2 USB controller charging straps, 2 SteamVR 2.0 base stations, 2 15-foot base station power cables, 2 base station stands with mounting hardware, regionalized base station power plugs, and a cleaning cloth, as well as a getting started guide, and some warranty information, as we so saw. Let's see here. Requirements recommended. The machine that I'm using this on is a Ryzen 7 3700X, which is a 8-core 16-thread CPU that is the current generation AMD. As far as video card, which is the more important part for VR mostly, I have a RTX 2080 Ti Founders Edition, which it doesn't get too much better than that right this second as of the recording of this video. I do plan on upgrading whenever Jensen Huang gets up on stage and says, "Hey, we've got new video cards, guys. You can pre-order today." I will be there. And I will be clicking that pre-order button on whatever he tells me to buy. That's a high-end graphics card. That's what I did the last time, and that's what I did this time around. That's not to say I'm a fanboy. I do like AMD. I do like NVIDIA's equipment. They've made good stuff. My past couple of cards have been NVIDIA, but I don't buy because of allegiance. I buy because of performance, and nothing has been able to touch the 2080 Ti in the couple of years that I've owned this thing. I am extremely happy to see that AMD is now becoming slowly more and more competitive. I'm hoping that with their console hardware and their Navi architecture and whatnot, that they will have a competitive product to the high-end NVIDIA gear soon. Everybody keeps talking about these big Navi graphics cards from AMD. They're going to challenge NVIDIA. That's what people have been saying. Value competition. It should drive down price. It should improve performance. It should give us additional features moving forward. These are all great things for everyone. The prices are too damn high for graphics cards right now. The 2080 Ti that I picked up was $1,200. Video cards should not cost that much, but I'm a hobbyist. That's what I enjoy spending my money on. Rather than, some people like cars, some people like high-end stuff. I can't even think of other hobbies off the top of my head because it's so late. It's currently 12:16 Eastern Standard Time as I record this. And my thoughts are kind of a jumble, and I'm really excited to try out the Valve Index that I just unboxed. Let's see here. I was hoping to get specifications about the headset itself. Valve Index headset. There we go. Fidelity first. They have talking points, hardware specification. It's what's included, but not specifically what it does. Yeah, anyway, it's a 1440p or dual 1440p headset that operates up to 144 hertz. I've heard of some tearing bugginess when you go that far, but the normal frame rate, not frame rate, refresh rate of this headset is, I believe, 120 hertz, if I'm not mistaken, which is really darn high. Most VR headsets, including the CV1, including the Odyssey Plus, including the Oculus stuff right now, it's all roughly in the 90 hertz range. That's been the top end until the Index got released for regular consumer headsets. In fact, most of the Oculus stuff right now, the current generation Oculus stuff, that is the Rift S, the Quest, the Go, they're all lower, like 85 hertz, 75 hertz. I think in the Go's case, it was actually 60 hertz, but that's now discontinued and kind of irrelevant at this point. The Samsung Odyssey Plus that I had was a 90 hertz headset. The CV1 is a 90 hertz headset. 90 hertz, I've never had refresh difficulties. Then again, on my computer here, my home workstation, I have three 4K 60 hertz displays. And I also have not had any refresh difficulties with those while playing pancake video games. Some people feel like higher refresh helps them. And that's great. If that's what you want to spend your money on, if you feel that's, that's something that you want, all the power to you. I personally have not seen, when I have tried out high refresh panels, that it was worth the money. And the trade-off is basically that you can't go with at high resolution, at least over current implementations of DisplayPort with current generation graphics hardware. So if you wanted to push 4K at 90 hertz, at 144 hertz, or even 140 hertz, that would take huge amounts of horsepower on your graphics card, which most people just don't have. In fact, I don't think it's possible with modern AAA games on the 2080 Ti that I have, which is one of the most powerful consumer graphics cards available, in order to drive a 120 hertz 4K experience in a game. It just doesn't have the power. Given it all it's got, can't get there. It's kind of a mess. So next generation graphics cards should hopefully have the power. Yeah. Really hoping that they will get there. Also, display interface technology, things like HDMI and DisplayPort, the implementations that are currently found on the 2080 Ti and current generation video cards just don't have the bandwidth in order to deliver those signals. In fact, some VR companies have had to really try to figure out and engineer a way to get dual 4K at higher than 60 hertz. It can be done. There are sacrifices in doing it, though. some of them have used multiple cables, like one per eye situation, in order to sort that out. But that gets really weird on the software side of things. And yeah, so it's not quite there yet. I just unboxed my index right here on the stream. And I should mention, I also have already pre-ordered, before I even received my Valve Index, the HP Reverb G2. The Reverb G2 is another Windows mixed reality headset. It does come with optically tracked controllers, which I'm guessing that they probably won't work all that great in those situations that I mentioned previously, where you have the controller behind you or off frame of the camera. It still has IMU information, the gyroscope and whatnot for tracking those other things. But in my experience with the Odyssey Plus, inside out tracking for controllers, not so great. I will more than likely be using the Valve Index controllers with that. I know that if you have the base stations and controllers, you can interface the base station tracked controllers with Steam VR with Windows mixed reality headsets. The headset basically tracks itself in 3D space inside out, and then the base stations track the controllers. So that is probably what I'm going to be setting up. The reason I ordered the Reverb G2 is because they're 4K. 4K per eye at a refresh rate of 90 hertz. And that is a game changer. That should be the beginning of photorealistic VR. It's not quite Retina, where your eyes naturally perceive the visual spectrum of the world, but it's pretty darn close at 4K per eye. I would like to see 8K. I think 8K would be Retina in that case. In the future, maybe 2, 3, 4 years. We're talking a follow-up to this generation that is coming. But 4K is really the beginning of photorealism in VR, I think, assuming that we can keep the refresh rate up. 90 hertz 4K, as I just got done explaining, is a whole lot of pixels to push. Even at 90 hertz. 90 hertz is the maximum that it can go. So if I become addicted to this high refresh on the Valve Index, I don't know what I'm gonna do at that point, but 4K is extremely attractive, especially at a very similar field of view of the Valve Index. So that'll be interesting. Speaking of field of view, the Pimax 8KX is now starting to ship to backers. This isn't an advertisement, but I've been following that project for quite some time myself. It has a really, really wide field of view, and it too uses dual 4K at, I believe it's 85 hertz, if I'm not mistaken, 80, 85 hertz, something like that. And they basically came out and said that they may be able to tweak that later on in software if they can figure out a good way to engineer that. It can also do, there's a hardware interpolation mode. So if you send it 1440p signals, 1440p per eye, it will upscale to 8K with a hardware integrated upscaler, which I've been told looks okay. It's not as good as native, but it's okay. And that, I believe, can go upwards of 90 to 120 hertz, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong about that high number. I know that it's at least 90 hertz on the 8KX, which is all I really cared about at that point. And I don't know if there's a big difference between 85 hertz and 90 hertz, as can you really perceive that? I don't know. I have personally never tried a headset that refreshes slower than 90 hertz for VR. Of course, I am naturalized to these 4K panels running at 60 hertz all the time. And I haven't had any problems with that either. And I play video games a lot, both in VR as well as on my panels here. My home setup consists of three 40-inch 4K displays that are laid out in basically facing me on my desk on an L desk. I've showed that before. In fact, I'm going to pull that up real quick to give you a visual demonstration. So this is an older photo of my desk. Good. Bring this around, zoom in, and too many things open. So this is more or less my current desktop setup. The displays have actually been moved so that the center display is more on the edge of the desk that it's currently on the right, and the right display has been pushed over more on the L desk. The TV here in the back has been gotten rid of. I haven't needed a big CRT TV in a while. That was there from my previous setup, but that thing was really annoying to move. So in this photo, I was waiting for some help moving it. So yeah, this is basically what my desk more or less looks like. I still have the Model M keyboard. It's pretty amazing. And it looks like I'm being messaged, unfortunately. That's okay. So yeah, I'd rather have the large real estate of three 40-inch 4K screens running at 60 hertz than have to settle on 1440p or the wide variants of 1440p, sort of the half 4K that is now pretty popular. What is it? I think it's like 1920 by 2160, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's about right for wide 1440p wide screen, which is roughly standard 4K display chopped in half vertically. Yeah, I would much rather have the large panels as when I'm not gaming, as you saw from that photo. I basically do a lot of web research, a lot of chatting, a lot of technical consulting, a lot of server work, and having those displays all over the place, or not all over the place, but having the organized windows on all of my displays here is a really good way to be more productive and to have everything facing me so I can see what is going on a variety of different computers and a variety of different applications. So yeah, that's pretty much the long and short of it. I will more than likely be following up at some point soon with some gameplay. I plan on doing some VR gaming with the Valve Index once I get things set up. Not going to set up in this stream just because it's kind of weird going between the camera and getting everything totally unboxed and set up and software installed and updated and firmware updated. That's where I'm headed next, is to get everything plugged in and firmware updated and charged and whatnot. Given that it's so late at night, I will probably run through a quick demo experience, maybe a couple of them, and go to sleep. Tomorrow is Friday, so I will more than likely be trying this stuff out, going back and forth between the CV1 and the Index, just to do a little bit of comparison, and maybe I'll follow up to this video with any additional thoughts that I have in moving forward. In conclusion, I really want VR manufacturers to release a headset that is at least 4K, that refreshes at least 90 hertz, that has wide field of view. I have seen some reviews of the what is it? Not the Varo, Star VR1. That's what it is. Sebastian Ung from MRTV, which is a great channel. I would recommend checking his stuff out. He has been reviewing the Star VR1, which is not being sold to consumers right now, which is a shame of its own. I believe that you should be able to, purchase whatever you'd like so long as you have the money for it. But they're not selling to consumers right now because of lack of support. I personally think that, if I wanted support, I could buy some additional from them, but neither here nor there. It's super expensive. I want a company like that to make a headset that's dual 4K with a wide FOV. They make a headset that's dual 1440p with a wide FOV. The FOV seems like it's fully natural. Like there's no black space. You are in the world. You are fully immersed visually in that world. If they could take those 1440p and optics that they designed for that and create a next generation that's 4K and can deliver, which is what the Pimax is supposed to be doing. The Pimax 8KX is basically Pimax's stab at that, but I'm not sure if I'm going to try to pick one of those up or not. And the reason behind that is I have heard lots of reports of distortion, lens distortion on the periphery, which has been known to make people sick in VR. I've seen some through the lens stuff on earlier Pimax headsets and optics where that has been true. They did redesign the lens system and the panels for the 8KX, so I don't know if that's going to be true for a lot of people on the 8KX. Pimax has been telling people to use the narrow field of view mode a lot of time on that, and that's kind of just dumb, in my opinion. If you buy a wide FOV headset, you want to be able to experience that wide immersion. You should be able to support it if you build it. Anyway, so yeah, I really want wide FOV and at least 4K, if not 6K. I think a good intermediate between 4K and 8K is going to be required. I think 6K is going to be that step that is, for most people, unless you're really paying attention, going to be pretty indistinguishable from real life. And when that happens, I think that people are going to be able to do work in VR. It'll become an actual productivity tool, because instead of me with my desk that looks like this, with my three 40-inch 4K desktop displays, in VR, I can have as many displays as I can fit in my viewing arc, as large as I want them to be. And at that point, working in VR becomes a possibility. VR will more than likely at that point replace desktop displays. And not just VR, we're talking about augmented reality here as well, to be clear. The lack of interaction with the physical space is going to become a problem for productivity users. People want to be able to, look at their keyboard and or their touch controllers or whatever, because you need to be able to input text in order to be productive. So I foresee that pass-through cameras that are high quality, even 4K ones, at the right spacing for the lenses on the headset should give enough pass-through to enable someone to use keyboard mouse on as many displays as you can fathom in a VR space, in a visually right environment. So I can have my desk in VR, and I can mark a space in the real world where I want my display to appear. I can tell it what size I want. I can bring the display closer or further away from me. You can already do a lot of these interactions and environments within stuff like the Oculus desktop or Big Picture, or I believe within Steam VR as well, if I'm not mistaken. I think you can access your desktops from there. I think that they added that functionality. Anyway, neither here nor there. Instead of something like Big Picture, where it's just a theater with a single giant display, which will also be amazing as well. This is sure to be disruptive in the film space, because if you can see an IMAX quality display or even higher quality within your VR environment, why would you go to a theater? Especially if you can, sit next to a virtual friend and enjoy the same movie experience that way, which Big Screen has been doing for a little while now, and looks really good. Hoping that with the index and the increase in resolution that I will be able to enjoy some video content a little bit more in VR. So that's something that I'm looking forward to. And I think that 4K on the HP Reverb G2 is going to be that sweet spot for me for viewing videos in VR versus viewing videos on my real displays. I've tried it in both. I've watched full-length motion pictures in VR, which I have some 3D Blu-rays that I enjoy watching that way. I've ripped them to my own computer and watched them in 3D using Big Picture, and it looks pretty great. The 3D effect rivals that I experienced in IMAX because it's true binocular vision, and you also get that 3D positioning in the environment as well. Things jump off the screen at you, and that's pretty amazing. Moving to higher resolution at similar refresh, I think we're looking at a very disruptive technology to the film industry, to desktop productivity. It will start replacing displays for some people. For me, the hybrid approach is probably going to be what is going to work best first. Hybrid in that I'll use my screens some of the time, especially if I need physical interaction. I'm a family man. I have a wife and 2 kids here. They sometimes want to, come in and ask me stuff. Also, wearing a VR headset while eating, not a great experience. I've done it. Just because I'm, watching a movie in VR and want to do that. But the mouth movements, with the way that the nose fits in, and the enjoyment of food, as well as not being able to see the food while I'm in VR because of the lack of pass through for that experience. I don't like to eat in VR. Just not great. It's not a good experience. So when I'm watching content, I usually will take off the VR headset, watch something different, YouTube video, something along those lines. and do that. So screens and VR, and use them where they're appropriate. If I need to do server work on a whole bunch of machines and am able to remote into those machines, having a separate 4K screen for each one of those remote machines that I'm remote desktop into would be phenomenal. Especially if I can lay them all out in front of me as I do with my my home desktop situation here. Here I have 3 displays. I could have as many displays around me as I would like, and I could swivel my chair just like so and see, more displays. And I can cycle through displays depending on what that particular environment allows me to do, and have the same 40-inch screen style all the way around me. And I can put displays on top or below other screens. Because in VR, it doesn't really matter. You can move your neck wherever you want to, and more displays will just appear. And they're software-driven displays for remote desktops, so there's no reason why I shouldn't be able to have a remote desktop window for each one, and basically do server updates, monitor the installation of a piece of software across all the machines in the network, manually remoting into those machines, and then waiting for progress bars and solving problems that way. For things like teleconferencing, I can basically have video windows up of each person. They could be in a headset or they could be on a webcam. Just like this particular view here, I can toss on a headset and talk to people just like this, and view all of the people in VR. I think that'd be great. Also, social VR is pretty fantastic as well. Avatars can improve in terms of resolution. There are ton of things that this is useful for. This is extremely disruptive technology that is just starting to become viable. And when I say viable, I mean the level of immersion and resolution required to read comfortably in order to see small components. I can visualize my 3D prints in VR. I can do that right now. And that's pretty awesome. I can import an STL into the environment and see exactly in VR how it should be printing, layer lines and all. That's pretty fantastic. And then when I'm done manipulating and pre-visualizing and looking at all the angles, I can hit the print button, and my 3D printer starts printing, and I have the object in 2 to 5 hours, because 3D printing stuff is slow. But anyway, this stuff is really, really cool, and I will certainly be talking more about it on this channel. I will be playing games on Twitch. I will be more than likely doing talking head videos, more than likely not this long, in the near future. I'm probably going to do a short follow-up to this once I've gotten into the index with a little bit more comparison, a little bit more of an experienced reflection on comparison between the various VR headsets that I have used and or want. I will definitely, as soon as the Reverb G2 gets here, be doing an unboxing of that. I will also be doing a comparison, direct comparison of the Reverb G2 versus the Index when that happens. And if I still have the CV1, which I probably will, it's good at some things enough to want to keep it around for now, at least as a backup. That I'll keep it around. So yeah, I will definitely be comparing the Reverb G2 to that, to the Index, to my experiences with the Odyssey Plus, and my analysis of current goings on in the VR space. Just to be clear, this is not a VR channel. I'm just passionate about VR. This is a tech channel. So if anybody has any sort of questions whatsoever, please leave comments. If you like what you see, go ahead and click on the link for sending me a couple bucks on PayPal. There's a tip link down below, and it basically makes this bar here go. So during the next stream, I will be happy to thank whoever, gives me a tip here and there. These videos aren't monetized, as I'm not a partner on YouTube yet. I don't have enough viewership, enough subscribes. In fact, go ahead and click that subscribe button if you do like this. Go ahead and hit the like button too while you're at it. That would be really appreciated. If you didn't like this for some reason, that's perfectly fine too. Go ahead and hit that thumbs down button. It will really help me know what content people actually care about, and whether or not I should continue making these types of videos. Thank you to Bela Rose, Professor Pig, Totally Bag. These are folks who have, posted in the chat and done some interactions on the stream. I'm always thankful to have people to talk to and ask questions and give feedback on the stream in real time. Whenever I do YouTube or Twitch streams, I always try to acknowledge the folks who did some talking and were able to contribute. Because staring at me talking into nothing without any sort of feedback is probably not great. So this could have been a 10-minute video, a 15-minute video. I've seen people do this unboxing real quick, but I had a lot of things that I wanted to talk about, things that I have wanted to make videos about here for a while. In particular, what's going on in the VR space, what I think the future is, as we just discussed. I think that's we went over quite a bit. I might actually edit this down into a couple of videos, depending on what the deal is, but I'll leave the original stream up. That's awesome. Anyhow, if you want to see more of my projects, the text and photo stuff is over at Cpgeek.org. That's Cpgeek.org, stands for computer. That's me, Cpgeek. And also there you'll find links to Discord, links to Twitter, links to the Cpgeek.org Facebook group, links to Twitch, where I'm reasonably active. I stream once a week or so. Maybe once every other week on Twitch. I don't have a schedule just because work and family life is so hectic. Never know exactly when I'm free or what game I want to play. I haven't been finishing a whole lot of games recently, at least on stream. So yeah, that's stuff. If there's a game that you want to see me play, if there are things that you want me to do with the index, have any questions about it, please let me know. Like I said, I'll do a follow-up video and let you know what I think about it, and answer any additional questions. So please comment down below. Just let me know what you want to see. Any feedback that you give is definitely welcome. And I will see you next time, where hopefully I will be way less rambly and way more succinct. Hopefully, maybe. I don't know. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to go put my new headset together and give it a shot before I fall down in bed and have to be awake at really early in the morning. Anyhow, thank you very much for getting to the end of the video, for contributing if you did contribute. And I look forward to seeing you guys later. Please click like, subscribe, get joined up, subscribe to my Twitter and all the other things, Twitch, that'll let you know when I go online, and can check out my next stream. Otherwise, this video and all of the others will be available on the channel after the fact. I generally don't remove stuff that I've done in the past unless it's like super terrible or has technical issues. So yeah, please let me know what you think, and I will talk to you later. Thanks a lot. Cpgeek out.